Hello and welcome to another video today. I decided I'm going to talk about archetypes today because they've really influenced the way how I understand the world and understand myself, my behavioral patterns and my decisions in life. And I'm sure it can help you as well. However, this is a very vast topic and one can discuss it very, very long. So I want to keep this video short. I'm just going to give you a bit of information what we're talking about in general and maybe give you an example. So archetypes are a concept that was introduced already in ancient Greece, but then reintroduced and redefined by Carl Jung. And since then, it's been developed and further defined by other psychologists. So there are a lot of different systems out there. By definition, an archetype is a combination of different personality traits, different behavioral patterns and characteristics. So, for instance, an archetype is a mother archetype or a daughter archetype. So, different roles that we play, but it's not only those roles, it's really our blueprint. I would go so far to say it's not only these characteristics that we have, but it's also something subconscious and maybe even energy with which we are incarnated on this earth as souls. So as the soul will have a particular energy and then express itself through that particular characteristics. So I would say I have a more anecdotal proof for it, but that's just like how I understand it. Is that when my mother was pregnant with me, she was reading books as never before and never after in her life. And she was like literally eating books. And she's now in retirement, she has a lot of time, and she never really reads as much as she did at that time. She doesn't even read now much, even though she has a lot more time. So how I explain it is because she was carrying my energy as well, which is dominant Athena energy. I will come to it later. That wants to read, wants to study. It kind of forced her to do that when she was carrying me because that energy somehow wanted that. So when I started studying those archetypes, I started studying archetypes that are based on Greek mythology. So Greek mythology is very close to me simply because my culture and my background originates in the Western world, which is kind of based on the Greek mythology and stories. These archetypes are also very close. So Greek mythology comprises of many different gods and goddesses, and so the archetypes are then also explained based on those mythological beings, so based on gods and goddesses. There are 15 different archetypes, 7 female, 8 male archetypes, and we all carry all of them. So we have one dominant, but we can actually operate with others as well. It's just that we have to be then conscious about those other archetypes and be actually really, mindful of what energy we're going to use in a particular situation. So you can actually start using archetypes in order to deal with everyday situations. So going back to Greek mythology, every god has their own myth and story, and based on those stories, these archetypes can be developed or described. So as I said, my dominant archetype is an archetype of an Athena, which is a goddess of wisdom, of warriors, and the craft. So as soon as I was like, even I think I was less than 2 years old, my mother brought some paper scissors, and I was the happiest child in the world. Athena is very good with sharp objects, so scissors were like my best toy. But I then also destroyed a lot of stuff, like my mother's super expensive curtains and my father's shirts with long sleeves were all of the sudden short sleeves and stuff like that. So this is what I did, I think, even before I was 2. And then Athena is also someone who studies a lot, reads a lot. So I was I was like eager to go to school. I was eager to learn how to read and write. I was getting small books and I was copying them as soon as I could hold the pen in my hands. Just like copying the letters and learning how to write letters. So before I went to school, I was able to write letters and partially read. So all of this is some kind of an Athena characteristics. And so when it comes to a bit global aspect, not only like as a child, when you grow up, is that this is an archetype of a woman who likes to study, gets knowledge, who will excel in academic world. She's going to be great researcher, very mental person, but on the other hand, very disconnected from herself and her emotions. So she's very much in her head and very little in her heart. If you can imagine, or if you can remember, for everyone who knows the Greek mythology, goddess Athena is portrayed with the armor and shield that shields her from the outside world, but also from herself and her emotions. So she will suppress her emotions so that they won't get out and interfere with her decisions. She will go in every decision with logic and strategy. So she would be very good in organization and strategic decisions. She will be very good in a role of, let's say, a right hand of a CEO or something similar, because she can really see stuff, also like foresee stuff, what can happen, and protect the CEO. She will be the one who stands shoulder to shoulder with other men in the corporate world. She will be like very successful, but with that she will be denying her feminine aspects, and that can result in having health issues, especially on feminine parts of her body, so more feminine organs, later on in her life, if she really denies that aspect and if she only works through that aspect, so she doesn't connect to herself. So these are all like the elements of how she works, and there are more levels of it, and more details, more stuff that we can discuss about Athena. We have other goddesses like Aphrodite, Persephone, Demeter, Artemis. So then we have male archetypes that we didn't even talk about in this video, that all shape our lives. And as I said, with energy that we go into particular situation, we can actually activate particular archetype if we are mindful of that. So if you want to learn more about archetypes, of course you can go and start researching in internet, find some books and start studying. But what I can also do is invite you to a free workshop that I'm going to organize. Please send me an email if you're interested to join, or write a comment below if you would like to join, and I will see you there. And if not there, then maybe in another video. Take care. Bye bye.